Hello everyone and welcome here. My name is Prosper, and in this video I'm going to be showing you step by step how to create a professional looking WordPress website for your business. So if you are looking forward to create a website for your business or for an organization, or maybe you want to just learn about website design, then do make sure you watch this video till the end, because I'm going to be taking you step by step on everything you need to know about creating a professional looking website using WordPress. Okay, so with what you are seeing on your screen now is a website we are going to be recreating in this video. So now let's take a look at all of the pages and the features of this website. So right there, you can see this is the home page. You can see what it's looking like and every section. So if you scroll down for this particular website now, it's about a building and construction company website. So you can see I gave it a name. This is a Pro Shared Construction. So this is what the first section is looking like, and this is the home page. So you can see building excellence, one structure at a time. And this is just a little text about what they do. And you can see there's a button here that takes them to the About section. So if you scroll down, you can see the services that they offer. Now, since it is the home page, I didn't really add all the services. I just added like three of them: residential construction, commercial construction, general contracting. And you can see there's an option to view all. So this button takes them to the list of services that they offer. So scroll down is little information about the company again. You can see about us, and then you can click here to read more about the company, take them to that page. So as we scroll down, you'll see the some effect on this page, like all this you are seeing here. Even when you scroll down, you can see this circular dot here and this curve. All of these are what I'm going to be putting you through in the course of this video. And I'm going to be showing you some templates that you can work with that will give you this amazing design, even as a beginner. So if you come down, this is recent work, like showing your portfolio on your website. Depending on the kind of website, the kind of business that you do, you might need to showcase some portfolio of your work. So you can see these wonderful effects. So this is like a professional website. Here we have just uh, projects, but you can see there's an option to view all projects. Once they click here, then they can go ahead and see all the projects that you have. So you can have this section here, maybe to show some of the organizations that you've worked with, or to show some of the accreditations that you have. So this section comes in handy. And if, depending on what you are working with or the website you are working with, you won't be needing this section, then you can easily take it off. So if you scroll down here, we have our testimonial section. You can see uh, well designed, well laid out, different from the norm. You can see what our customers are saying. And then after that, we have the blog section. So this blog section is another optional one that if you want to have it in your website, but it's always good to have a blog section for SEO purposes when you start to put great content. So after that, we have this more like a call to actions, because another thing about your website is that there must be call to action at every point. At no, not really every point, but at point that matters. Exactly. So you can see, what are you waiting for? Let's get started with your project, and then there's a button here to click now. So you can either use this button to take them to the contact us page like we're having here, or just maybe they should take an action, or maybe take them to a landing page and then to get their information, or for them to reach you. And after that, we have this footer. You can see very clean footer where here we have the logo. So I'm going to put you through how to create a logo real quick, and then you can see with four sections, just links, we have the contact and this sign up. So you can also arrange yours whichever way you like. Exactly. The important thing is for you to be able to do this. And here we have this copyright footer. It's going to show all of this information there. And if you're an agency, or you're looking forward to be an agency, you can have something like this, maybe designed with love by the name of your agency. So once they click on it, they can take you to your personal website. So this is what the home page. So let's take a look at the other pages too. You can see it has the home page, about all services, projects, the blog, and the contact us. Exactly. So these are some of the menus that actually fit this website. All of this is what I'm going to be putting you through in the course of this tutorial. So now let's look at the other pages. Now this is the about us page. So you can see, and interestingly, you can see that some of the information that we have here, you'll also see some of them at the home page. Exactly. Okay, so this is the about us section, and then the footer. Then let's take a look at the services page. So our services, we are here for you. You can see these are four services. So if you have more than that, you can also go ahead and add all the services, because this is services page. So you can go ahead to show all of the services, unlike on the home page where we just have three services shown here. and then you can see all of the this website was designed with a template, and I'm going to be sharing with you how you can get those templates for free, and then you can modify the information to give you this professional looking website that we are having here. So let's look at the project page. So here is the project page. So we pledge ourselves to outstanding project. So you can see we have 4 projects here, and they are categorized accordingly. And then, so if you notice that this from this part where we have what are you looking for, you can see that it appears across all pages because it is part of the footer section. Exactly. So you can see the contrast in the background. You can, if you take a look at this part here, you see the contrast in the background, giving it another professional look. Okay. So now let's look at the blog section of the website. So this is the blog section, looking very simple and very neat. And then lastly, let's look at the contact page. So here is the contact page. Here you can have your address, your phone number, working hours, email address. So whatever information you think that you need to put on your contact page, do make sure you have it here. If you don't need to, depending on your website or something, you might not need working hours. That depends on you. And then this is a contact form. If you want them to message you directly from the website, to send you an email, you can decide to have this contact form there, and whatever message that is entered there will be sent to whatever emails that you have customized to receive the email. So all of these are what I'm going to be showing you in the course of this video. And here we also have the social media links. And if you scroll down, there is a map option to show where your location is exactly. Okay, then before the footer. So those are the pages of this particular website I'm going to be putting you through. And if you look just at the top here, you see that there is a logo of for the website is showing somewhere here, showing at the because some website don't have these things. So all of these are what you're going to be learning in this video. So if that interests you, I want to encourage you, do make sure you watch this video to the end. And if you are new to this channel, please kindly take out time to click on that subscribe button. So kindly do that right now. So click on that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to subscribe to this channel. Okay, so thank you very much if you have just done that. And if you are yet to, please go ahead right now and click on that subscribe button. All right, so if you have done that now, so let's get into the video proper. Now, for you to get started with designing a website, there are 2 major things that you're going to need. Number 1 is the domain, and the second thing you're going to need is the hosting. So now let me break down what these 2 things are. So when the domain is the website name, for example, we have facebook.com, google.com, instagram.com. So all of these things are what we call the domain, the name that you're going to give to the client or to your customers, that this is what they are going to type in their browser to access your website. So that's what we refer to as the domain name. Exactly. So then another thing you're going to need is the hosting. Now the hosting is more like an housing that you are going to store all the information about your website, where they are going to be stored on the internet, exactly, or in the cloud, whichever word that best suits it. So that's what hosting is all about. In short, I don't want to go too deep in it, but just note those 2 things. You're going to need a domain and hosting. Exactly. So for you to get some of the domain and hosting, so just head over to this website, and then you'll be taken here. So you can get your domain and hosting right here. And if you are getting basically your hosting, you're going to be getting free domain. Exactly. So makes it very reliable. So this is a great hosting platform that comes highly recommendable. They are very affordable and reliable. Exactly. Trust me. Okay, so once you're on this page, you can just always a high chances that they might be doing a deal, or like you can see here, everything you need to create the website up to 75% off hosting plus website builder. But we won't be using their builder. We are going to be using Elementor builder. So once you are here, you can come here and just click on claim deal. And then, okay, it's still on the same page. Now, there are 3 plans that you can pick from. We have the premium, the business, and the cloud setup. Now, depending on your budget, you can see this business plan. Okay, if you scroll down, you see the difference. With this premium, you can create up to 25 websites, while this offers 50 websites and then the cloud. So if you check it out, you see that there are difference. But if you are just starting out and maybe you're low on budget, you can start out with the premium, which comes at 229 per month, and then while the business is at 399 per month. Exactly. So whichever one you pick as a starter or as a beginner, or maybe you just want to create just one or few websites, then you'll be fine. Exactly. But if you can afford the business plan, the business plan, definitely then go for it. So let's say you are picking a business plan and I click on choose plan. Okay. So here you are going to choose the duration, the period of it. So let's look at it together. So if you want to go for 1 month, you can come here and select the 1 month plan. So maybe that's if you are testing it out, exactly. But the higher period you choose, the more discount you're going to get. So if it's for 1 month, you're going to be getting at a total of $18.99. But if you pick higher months, maybe 12, it all depends on your budget and what you intend to do in future. So, but anything from 12 months comes highly recommendable. So if you are doing for 12 months, you're going to be paying a total of 47.88, and that's a discount of $120 exactly. Okay, and then for the 48 months, which is 4 years, you're going to be paying $491.52 cents. That's $480 discount exactly, which is very amazing. So whichever one you want to pick, so once you are done selecting it, come over here and click on continue. So having done that, then you come here and put in, if you don't have an account, there's chances that you don't have an account. So come in here, put in your email address and then your password, and then you click on register. So once you are done with the registration process, it takes you to the billing where, where you're going to put in your billing address. You enter your name, your last name, your phone number, your country of residence, your address. So all of these informations are very important. And you can see the order summary right here. So we pick the 12-month plan, and it comes with daily backup. That's another important thing about this hosting gel. This daily backup, you might not know the essence of it until maybe you just check your website and you see that your website is down or is misbehaving, or your website just break. With the backup, you can just go to your page panel, so log into your hosting account, and then you just restore some of the previous backup. Exactly. So then you are getting a free domain, so you can see it here. This is it, a domain. This is the actual cost, $9.99, but you can getting it for free. So that put the total with the after the discount to $47.88. So after that, once you are filling all of this, then you can go ahead and make payment either with card, PayPal, Google Pay, or Alipay. So if you are watching from Nigeria, if you're having issue with paying with your card, you can either use Gray or cheaper cash. And those two I found a very, especially Gray. Gray is very reliable, and the rate it makes sense. So if you need a separate video on that, that's for countries that doesn't have a regular card to make payment online. Just let me know. I'll do a separate video on that. So once you are done with that, you can submit your payment, and once you've submitted your payment, then you'll be able to log into your Hostinger account. So once you are logged in into your Hostinger account, this is what you're going to be seeing here. So just like you're having here. So you come over to where you have websites. So you're going to be seeing this on the left side of your screen. Come over to where we have websites. Come to website list. So once it loads up, I currently have a website here on this, but what you do here is you click on add websites. So there's an option here, you click this WordPress because that's what you are using. You are creating it using WordPress. All right, so here you'll be seeing this question is more like a survey. So you can decide to skip it or just answer it. For this, let me just skip this. Now here you are going to create your detail for your WordPress account. So this is where you're going to create your login details. So here you enter your WordPress admin email, you enter your administrator password. So take note of some of the requirements for the password. Make sure one number must be there, one symbol. So the symbol include the @, maybe the @ the currency sign, the and sign, the plus, minus, those symbols. Then uppercase letter, one lowercase, 8 to 50 characters. So just take note of all of this. And please, whatever you're using as your password, you need to take note of it so that you don't forget. Maybe you need to write it down somewhere while creating this video, while creating your website, so that you don't forget. So once you are done with that, you click on next, and then you click on the option to create a blank site. Exactly. And then here you are going to enter the domain. So it says claim your free domain, buy a new one, or confirm a domain you already own. So based on the hosting plan we purchased earlier, you're going to be getting a free an opportunity to claim a free domain. Exactly. And then you can decide to buy a new one, or you can confirm a domain you already own. So there are chances that you that are watching this video now, that you purchased a domain earlier, you're going to have opportunity to claim a domain. So whatever domain you want to use, remember I've explained what a domain is. That's the website name that you want to use. So go ahead and type it here. So for this tutorial, I want to be using this particular domain that I already own. So, but if you are putting in a new domain that you don't own and the domain is available, you see an option to claim just beside the domain. Exactly, just like we're having here. You see an option to claim the domain, so then you'll be able to claim it. But this, I already have a domain I want to use, which is this gadgetgpt.com. So I can just go ahead and select this. Okay, so you can see this domain is registered in another provider. You need to verify you own this domain when you connect to your site. Exactly. All right. So another thing I need to mention is if you have a domain already that you want to use, for example, for this particular domain, I have it on Dynadot. So one thing you need to do is you make sure you change your name server to this. So once you're on the domain name, that if you're using Dynadot, let me quickly explain that. So you come to where you have name servers. So you click this arrow and then you can see you enter a new existing name server, name server 1 and 2. So for the name server 1, this is what you are going to use, ns1.dns-packing.com. For the second one, you are going to use this. Exactly. So it kind of creates a link between the domain and the hosting. So just taking note of that. So it's the same thing across all domain registry, either you're using Dynadot or GoDaddy or Bluehost, whatever. Or maybe you're buying your domain from Pogbon or Namecheap. Okay. All right, so I haven't done that. So let me go ahead and click on install WordPress. So I've done that already. It won't take too much time for it to link. So let me go ahead and click on install WordPress. Okay, so you can see installing WordPress. All right, so it's already on 100%. So ready to go. It's time to build your online presence. All right, so once you are done, it will automatically take you to the WordPress dashboard. So this is what your WordPress admin dashboard will look like. Okay, so now take note of this. You can see it is showing gazette hyphen.com preview domain. That's because it's yet to confirm the domain, but no problem. We can still go ahead with our design. Okay, so this is what, like I said, your WordPress dashboard will definitely be looking like. So all of the things that you're going to be working with are on this side. So you have the dashboard. The dashboard is what you are seeing here. So let me just click on it. It might just okay. So this is it. Welcome to WordPress. And then we have the post. That's if you want to deal with blog. Let me quickly explain the media. This is where you are going to be having all your media files like pictures, your videos, your audio, all media files. Then pages, you're going to be working with these pages, comments. Once you receive comments on your website, you are going to be seeing the option to attend to it here. Appearance, under this appearance, there are other options there. We have plugins. So plugins are more like um, let me compare it with apps that you have on your mobile phone to enable you to do certain things on your phone. Exactly. So that's a basic definition of what plugins is. Once we start making use of them, you're going to understand what each of them means. Then users is where you can create you can edit your account of your website. Exactly, your accounts that you use to access your website. And if you want to add new users, maybe you want to give another person access into the back end of your website, and then this is where you do that. Then the tools, you can see these are the options there, the settings. You can just take time to go through some of these things, and but the more you use WordPress, the more you understand all of these things. So now that we've installed WordPress into our domain, we've installed WordPress. Now let's go ahead, and there are two things that we need right now. Is you're going to need a theme, and you are going to install some plugins. Exactly. So for us to add a theme, so just I'm going to be explaining the theme also using your mobile device. Just like you have a theme on your phone, if you have a phone and then you install a new theme, you can see it's changed the feels of the phone, like the software view of the phone, how you see the phone. Maybe it can change the logo of your apps, it can change your wallpaper, all those things. So that's what the themes also means in web design when you're dealing with WordPress. So for you to choose a theme, just head over to appearance and then you click on themes. So by default, you're going to be having all of these themes, this 2025, 2024, 2023 themes. But the one we are going to be using for these, for us to achieve, remember, this is the website we want to create. We want to recreate this website. So the theme that we are going to be using is, okay, let's just come over here and click on add new theme. So just search for Flux. Hope I got that right. Flux. So this is the theme you are going to be using. So then you click on install. So there's no need to preview it. So you click on install. So once the installation is done, then you click on activate. Okay, so the difference between the install is that means you just want all this. For example, these ones are installed themes already, but they are not activated. You can see the option to activate. So you can have as many as possible. But the lower the better, so that your site won't be too heavy. It won't take up too many space on your host. Okay, and just also you just advisable these ones that we are not using. Just go ahead and you can just delete them since we are not using them. So just to reduce, just to make the website more lighter. It goes a long way. So we already have the theme that we want to use. Now you can see that once we install the theme, we are having more options. If you look at this appearance, earlier we are having only theme and one other thing, one other option there. But now we have pattern, customize widgets, menu, flux, install theme. Exactly. So now that we've installed it, if you install this theme now, you're going to be having an option to install. You can say, thanks for choosing Flux. Take full advantage of Flux theme and enable demo importer. Please install the core plugins. So let's go ahead and install them. So while that is going on, let's go ahead and see what our front, our website is currently looking like. So if you come over here, you see view sites. Let me open that in a new tab. So you can see this is what our website is looking like right now. But by the end of this video, we are going to be taking it from what you are seeing right now, from this to this. Exactly. So if you are finding value in the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are yet to subscribe, please take our time to subscribe to the channel. All right, so now we've installed all the theme and the necessary plugin that we need so far. So the next thing is to bring in the templates we are going to be using. Exactly, I mentioned it earlier. We are going to be using a template. So let's come to this demo importer. So that's one thing I like about this theme. It has a lot of a demo that you can work with. So if you look at it now, they are both free and paid um, demo that you can work with. So you can see this is for pro only. But let's look at the free ones. You can see this is free because there's an option to import. So you can see that there are a lot of themes here. So that's why pretty much love this particular theme. There are a lot of demos that you can work with. So, but for this one, this is one that we are going to be making use of today's business. So what we do is you can go ahead and preview it. So if you click on preview, so this method I'm taking you through, it comes very handy when you have to create a website within a short period of time. So you don't need to start to create it from scratch. What you just do is you look for a demo that match the kind of website that you want to create. You go ahead, you import it, you change the information to the one that match um, the business that you are creating a website for, or the company, or the purpose you are creating it for, and then you are done. So you can see this. So this is the demo. So if you look at it, you see that there's a similarity, a lot of similarities with this demo and what we have as our end result. Exactly. So you can see that there are a lot of similarities. So, and it's free. Exactly. I need to mention it's free. This is totally free. So since we have seen the preview, we can go ahead and click on the import. So just click on continue. For better results, it's recommended to install the demo on a clean WordPress site. So we have a clean WordPress site. So let's just click on continue. Let me close this. Let me close this. Let me close this. Okay, so it requires some plugins. So let's just go ahead and install it. All right, so what it means is that there are some pictures or images in that demo that are not free. Exactly, they have copyright issue. They are not free images, so that's what it's telling you here. Some images in the demo are copyright and watermark. You can remove watermark by authorizing an Envato element subscription. So we don't need that because you are not going to be using those copyright images. You are going to be using our own images. I'm going to be showing you where you can get free images that you can use. They are copyright free and high quality. So let's keep this. Okay, so import demo content on Flux. So yeah, okay, yes, let's import also the media content. Exactly, because once the media is not there, you might just get confused with how to go about it. So let's go ahead and import everything. So let's click on import content. So now we have congratulations, demo has been successfully imported. So we can go ahead and close this, or let's just preview it. So let me open this in a new tab. So and then close it here. So now you can see what the website is currently looking like. So the next thing for us to do is to modify all of this to fit our own business or our own information. Exactly. So that's the next thing we want to do. So now let's go back to the back end of the website. So which is this. So let me just go back to the dashboard. Okay, no, that's the WordPress dashboard. So now let's start with the home page. Exactly, that's the first page I usually work with. So for the home page now, once you are here, so let me just do that from the back end. You come over to pages. So you can see now that we've installed themes, we've installed different themes, we've installed plugins. You can see that we're having more options here, unlike when we installed WordPress initially. So there are more options here for us to work with. So as time goes on, you're going to be touching some of them. You might not need to touch everything, but you're going to touch the ones that are needed. And as you create more websites, you really get to understand what all of this are for. So these are just an extension of some plugins that was installed. That's why we are having these options here. Okay, so now let's go to pages. So because we imported a demo website, so we already have all of these pages created. Exactly, we already have all of these pages created. So, but the one that we are going to need, we are going to modify them. So now for the home page, now for you to know once you're on pages, and the Elementor is the page builder that we are using. Exactly, but the theme that we installed or that we imported, that we installed, and then the demo we imported has done all the installations for us. So if you come to our plugins now, so let me just show you that. So you can see we already have all of this installed already. We already have them installed. So contact 7, the picture, Elementor, hosting. This was because we are using Hostinger uh, hosting platform, Hostinger hosting. That's why this by default, and the light speed cache. Exactly. And then the theme install these other core elements. Okay. So now let's go ahead. You can see, assuming we are doing this from scratch. If you want to know how to create a website from scratch, there's a separate video for that. You have to install some of these things manually. Okay, so that's why this is more preferable. Since we have imported the demo, it makes the work much more easier. But I need to mention this so that you don't miss out some necessary information. All right, so now let's go back to pages. So our front page, you see this front page. Now the front page means once you go on the website, the first screen you're going to see is the home page. So you would have seen it here, first front page, and this is telling you that it was designed with, it was made with Elementor. So that's why you are seeing Elementor at the front of some of these pages. For example, this privacy policy page, it was not done using Elementor, so that's why you're not seeing Elementor at the front. The same thing with this blog page. Exactly. So, but for this now, this is the now you can see that there is two home page. We have one home, another home, but the one with front page, that's to tell us that that's the front page. So what we do is we go ahead and click on this edit with Elementor. So let me open that in a new tab. So for this now, let me close this. Let's close this. So once, if yours is showing this is a preview of your website by a customer of Hostinger, you can just close this. So after some minutes, we are going to be having our real domain without the preview. Okay, so you can just close this. Let me just keep this. Now the next thing is for us to start using Elementor to adjust the information that we have on this home page. Exactly. So now let's look at it. So we are taking from, we want to change this to what we are having here. Now, if you are creating a website and then you need content for your website also, you might also consider using ChatGPT. So that's how I was able to get some of the content that I use for this particular website. So you can just put in some prompts like, let me open ChatGPT. So this is another added information for you. So you can just put in a prompt like, okay, create a comprehensive name in Lagos. So let me add the location so that the content can be more specific for SEO purposes. Company in Lagos, Nigeria, called, so let's say the name of the company is called ProShed Construction. Okay, ProShed Building and Construction. Okay. All right, so let's just enter this. Okay. So you can see it has generated content. So it's still So let's just, while the others is loading up, you can see it has created content for about us, even though um, it's not much. So you can, if you're not okay with it, you can also enter it and tell it that, okay, you know what, let the content to have more text. Then ChatGPT will do that. So you can see for the services, it has given the possible services that such company might be offering, and some little bit of description about each of those services. If you scroll down our process, then you can see the contact information of it. So if there's other things that you need, okay, this one didn't even had testimonials and testimonials. So if you also need testimonials, you can just indicate it that, okay, add testimonial content. But you also need to go through some of this content to see that it aligns with what you actually need. So these are just an added information by the side, and it can come handy if you're creating a website for a client that did not provide some of this information. Okay, so you can see it as added some testimony. So whatever it is that you need, you can see it. Because you even mentioned that company is based in Lagos, is creating testimonial for some of the jobs in some locations in Lagos. You can see Lekki, you can see Victoria Island. Okay, so those are places in Lagos, Nigeria. All right, now let's go back into the home page. All right, so this is a structure. This one that I'm moving around is different sections of the website of the front page, so you can easily navigate easily. So if you click on this, for example, to take you to this particular section, and this container at the top is for the first one. So this is more like a navigator. Exactly, yeah, that's what it's called. All right, so now let's start off with this first section, this container. So I've clicked on it. So I can just go ahead and click on all of this and start to modify the information. So I've clicked on this first one, which is a modern heading. So where we have our services, so I want to change it to pro shared construction. So let me just, so what we are doing now is more of copy and paste since we are creating this particular website. So let me just, well, all the information I have here are what I'm going to be copying here. I've already picked what I need from what ChatGPT generated for me. So I won't be using this, but I'm just showing you so that if you also need to generate content for your website, this is how you can also do that. So project construction, I've copied it. Let me go ahead and paste it. So I can just close ChatGPT. So where we are having the heading, our service, let me paste it there. So we've started already. So here we pledge ourselves to impeccable business. So that falls under the secondary heading. So I click on secondary heading. So you can see we pledge ourselves. So let me go back here and copy it. So here we have building excellence. So I copy this. And then where we have we pledge ourselves, I paste it there. So the next line is one structure at a time. So let me just copy everything, one structure at a time. So I come over to highlighted text. So this one step at a time. Let me just cut this. Is under after text. So let's see. Building one structure one step at a time. So now you can see that if you want to take this back, just click on that arrow. So this is it for this. All right, so now let's edit this description. So this text we are having here falls under the description. So let me copy the description also. So at Pro Shared Construction, we bring your vision to life. So let me copy that. So it's all under the description, and then I can paste it. Okay. So we're already making progress. So don't forget, once you are working on this Elementor itself, always remember to publish whatever it is you're doing. So publishing it is a way of saving it. Exactly. So in case maybe something happened and you didn't save, you might lose some of the designs that you have done. And it is when you publish it that you can see what it looks like on the front page. Exactly. So now if you look at the preview changes, so that is open on a new tab. So you can see it, all the changes we've made on this particular section alone so far. This is it here. So let's continue. Let me close it back. All right. So now let's see what's the next one. So this button, read more. So I still left that. So we are still going to make use of it. This read more. So once I click on it, You can see if you want to change it from maybe read more or learn more. So let me just change it to learn more. So the aim of everything I'm showing you is that with after watching this video, you might not necessarily need to create exactly what I've done, but you can use the idea to even create something better. Exactly. So there are other options under this button. So if you want it to be left aligned, if you want it to be center aligned, if you want to justify it or you want to put it right aligned. So, but let's leave it as left aligned. So now this button, where do you want it to link to? Do you want it to link to a particular page? That you can do that here. So it's linking to the About Us page. So to do that, you can either click on this settings. Okay, you can just, once you click on it, you can see page, where do you want it to link it to About Us page. So let's leave it like that. And if you want an icon on and off, you can switch it on. You can see there's an icon beside it. So there are a lot of options when you are working with all the elements in all these things are called elements. You can see this button is an element, this text is an element. There are a lot of options there, but you might not need to touch everything. In fact, you won't need everything. Just pick the one that you want that fits the design that you want to achieve or whatever it is you want to achieve, and then you continue. Okay. So now another thing we want to do before we leave this section is to change the background image. You can see of this lady with the biro. We don't want this image because this is even a copyright image already. Exactly. That's why you're having this um, these diagonal lines, these diagonal dashes over it. So for us to do that, so let's come back to this structure and navigator. Since this is the first one, so let's just click on it. So pay attention. You can see what's happening here. So for us to do this, we come to this particular container, you come to this style. Okay, it's not under style. So let's come back to this container. Let's click on advanced image. Okay, this is not it. So let's see. All right, so this is it here. This advanced image. Exactly. So now here we can go ahead and change the image. So we can just delete this and put add there. So let's put on the plus sign. So the next thing is for us to add media files so we can upload pictures. Now for you to get pictures for your websites, one website that come highly recommendable is Pixels. So all the pictures here are high quality pictures. So just create an account. It's free. Pictures are free. So since you are creating a construction website, so you can just search for construction. Let me put building at the front so that it can be more specific. So you can see these are pictures that you can see they are quality pictures, they are free pictures that you can use. So you can see this is how I got this particular picture. You can see it on the, you see it somewhere here. I think this is it here. So that's where I got the picture, and the pictures are free pictures. So this is it here. And to make the work much more easier, depending on the kind of, if you want to be more specific, you can see this just random pictures of square and horizontal. You can just select, okay, let's filter it by the orientation. Maybe you want horizontal pictures because depending on that's what you might need most times. So you can see it. So you don't use horizontal picture where you need vertical. It can affect the aesthetic of what you want to achieve. And if you need vertical picture, sometimes you might need vertical. So to select vertical, so you can see it will give you vertical picture. So let's go back to the initial website. You can see, for example, right here, this is a vertical picture. I actually need the vertical picture here. Exactly. So sometimes you might need vertical, sometimes you might need horizontal to make your search easier. So that's why the essence of that filter. So once you see a picture you're okay with, you can just go ahead and download it. Okay. So I already have all the um, images that we are going to be using. I already have them on my system. Okay. So before you upload them, there's another thing you also need to take note of is, let me make it a little large. Okay, so these are the pictures that we are going to be using. Now, before you upload some of those pictures into your WordPress site, exactly, before you upload them, always make sure you change the name because once you download a picture from Pixels, it might show like this, something like this. Now we have Pixels, Egog, Stack, Starkov, something like it. For example, this one too, it hasn't, that's Pixel dash as for as for as AS photographer. Okay. So it might come like that. So it's always advisable to change it for SEO purpose. Make sure the name you are changing needs to, it actually fits the website or the business or the company that you're creating it for, or the purpose of that picture. That's for SEO purposes. for purposes. Okay, so look at this now. For example, I change this one to office complex construction, residential building construction by construction, warehouse construction, and I added the name of the company. Exactly. So this thing, it helps with SEO because sometimes someone might search for warehouse construction and this image might come out on search engine, and once they click on it, it's in there, is sending traffic to your website. Exactly. So for SEO purposes, since I already have all the pictures, I can go ahead and just put everything. So let me just select all of them so that it can make our work much more easier. So we don't need to start uploading every now and then. Okay. And then this is the logo. Let me also put in the logo. So you can see the logo, simple modern minimalistic. So you can see this was when I downloaded this, but before I uploaded it, I changed the name to Project Construction Company, Lagos, Nigeria. Exactly. So that's what you should always do. Make sure you title your images appropriately. Custom home builder in Lagos. So let me copy all of this. Okay. So Project Construction. So just you can just drag and drop it into the website. So once you have uploaded all the pictures like this, another thing you need to do is, now you see why I said you should change the title for it to fit the website and the purpose of the website. So let me click on this as uploaded finish. This has complete. So now looking at this now, you can see the title here. Exactly. It will be having that title that you've given the picture in the on the website itself. So what I do is I copy the title and I paste it in this alt text. I do that for all the images that I'm be using for when I'm creating a website. It should be custom without E. So make sure you do this. It's also for SEO purposes. And if you're wondering what SEO is, these are just some of the things that you do to your website legally, white hats, to make sure that your websites appear on search engine or rank higher in search engine results. So retail store construction company. So for example, construction contractor. So this should be contractor. That should be typo error. So what, for example, this now, if someone is looking for a retail store contractor in Lagos and this image shows up, the person might be forced to click it, and once they click it, the person will just land on your website. It's just a way of getting traffic. Residential building. Okay. I guess I was typing those things so fast that I was just making typo error. All right. So let's see the image that we selected here. So let me go ahead and pick it. Let's see. Okay, this is it. So this is what we use. Okay. So you can see it now. We are creating our website. Now you can see this text here is black, but we want it white because this is what we have so that it can be visible. So for you to do that, once you click on it, you come over to style. So we didn't really style the heading because we are okay with what we have here, what we imported from the demo. But this is from the description. So let's click on description. So let's change the color. This is where we change the color. So once you click here, then we change it to white. Okay. Then these are colors that are already available for us to use. That means from previous colors that we've been using for the website. So if you click on it, these are other colors that are available on the website. But this white that we've just picked is not here. If you want to add it, so once you just click on this plus sign, so that it comes handy when you don't want to be having different shades of color. So of colors. So for example, assuming we want this gradient 2 now, that's what it is, name gradient 2. Once we select it, you can see it will change to gradient 2. Instead of picking it here and then looking for it, you might be getting a slightly different shade. But once you come over here and then you've saved all your colors, you can just go there and select it, and it's much more easier. You can see we've saved white, and that is why white is showing here. So you can just click on it, and then we won't have problem with having uh, color contrasts or different colors, selecting different colors when you are not sure of the Xcode. Okay, so there are other options here which we will not be using for now. So let's just continue. So now we are done with this first section. Let's scroll down. So the next part is what we're having here. So this is our services. We provide only the best. So let me copy this. So let's go and modify it. Our services. So we are here to make you happy. So that's under secondary heading. So let me just paste it here. We are here to provide only the best. And if you look at what we have here, there's a button here with view all that goes to the services page. So let's add that. So there's no button here. So to make it easier, we just copy this. You can copy this button. So that's another thing. So it's just copy and paste. So there's no code required. So just come here and then click on paste. So you see that the button will appear. Okay, so now let's modify this to, instead of learn more, let's change it to view all. So that will be, or you can just change to all services or view all services. I think the text is long, so let's just leave it as all services. Okay, so it will align itself. So the alignment is okay. And then if you want to change anything about it, maybe the color. So for example, also you can see this website is a purple theme color. So if you want to change the colors also, free, you can also do that. I'm going to be showing you where you can change everything across the entire website. So you don't need to be doing it one after the other. But for this button now, if you want to change the color, so once you come to style, you can change the shape, the size, what happens when you over it. You can see when you over it, there's a shadow appearing. And if you want a situation whereby once you over it, maybe you don't want it to be black, you want it to be another color. So you can see it here. So it's currently black. Maybe I change it to this gradients 2 now. So once I over it, so you can see. So this is where you can do some of these things there. So let me return it back to black. So you can see. So don't forget to always publish once you make any changes on your website or you add anything. So now let's go ahead and modify all of this also. Okay. So this was made with some, that's because of this. That's because of this icon here. It was created with an inline SVG, but let me use icon instead. All right, so now let's look at the services. For this now we have residential construction, commercial construction, and general contracting. So let's do that. So for us to do this, now let's go ahead and change the icon. So I've clicked on it already. So take note, you have to click on each of those elements for you to modify them to what you want. So I'm looking for this icon, which is a house. So let me search for a house. Okay. Oh, okay, home. Okay, home. So this is it here. And then you click on insert. Okay, and then we change it to residential construction. So it's under content. You come to content. You can see the title where we have speed optimization. We change it to residential construction. And then for this text that we're having here, let me copy this. Custom homes renovation remodeling. So I can go ahead and copy that and paste it here. Are we good? So the same thing we've done here, we are going to repeat the same thing here. So let me just do it for, you can drag this around if it's disturbing you, you can as well remove it. But let's just hang it around. So let me do the same thing here for this. Now I think this is warehouse. Okay, commercial construction. Let me just copy that. And then for the logo, I think is warehouse. That's the name of, okay. So warehouse, that's the name of the icon. So the same thing, you come to content. And then I want to show you something here. That's why I'm repeating it here. And then I can just copy this. And then I paste. Okay. So you can see that this text is too big for this space, although if we should take this back in, you can see it contains it, but for smaller devices, so that we won't be having this, let's just go ahead and reduce the size of this residential construction. So for us to do that, I've clicked on it now. You come to style. So since then you come to title. So you can modify everything that is here. You can see the header position if you want it like this. So you can see everything is customizable. So you can choose whatever it is that you feel like you're okay with. Then for the icon or the image, you can also change the size. So you can see you can make it smaller or bigger. So everything is customizable. The fact that it's a demo that imported doesn't mean you can't change things around. Exactly. Okay. So, but I'm not changing anything about the header, but the title, I want to reduce the size. So for you to do that, once you come to title, you click on typography, and then you can reduce the size. You can also change the font family for that, for this. So let me reduce it to, let's say, 26. Okay, so that should be fine. Now, as I've changed it here, I need to make sure that it is the same thing for this and for this. So what I can do is I just come here and copy this, and then I come here and right click. You see paste style. So you can see to read this whatever thing that you've adjusted here to take effect. Instead of doing it here, you come here, you do it again, and then you repeat it. It's time wasting. So you can just copy one and then you just come here and then click on paste style. Okay, so the same thing also that we've done here, changing this to residential construction, commercial construction, is the same thing we're going to do in changing this other third one to general contracting. Exactly, but to save time, I hope you got the concept. I'm just going to be leaving this like this. Okay, so now we can see we have four columns here. If you need to add more columns to duplicate it, there's an option to do that. So just select it here, this container, and then you click on duplicate. So you can see we are having an additional column, exactly, but we don't want it to be too much. So let me just go ahead and delete it. So take note of where I'm clicking it from. So this is it. I can come here, I can just delete it. Exactly. And this was created using, so you, so if you want to duplicate it, that's how you can go ahead and duplicate it. And you can also, if you change this to grid, so you can see it will, you have if you that means if you need more than, so once I change it to grid from here, the layout to grid, so you can see, and then I increase it to two columns, I mean two rows. So that's why we have this has come down. So what this means is that if you have more than three services that you want to display, so this is how you can increase it. I can see this other one has come down. Exactly. But since it is the front page, you don't need to showcase all of the service. That's why this option of all services is here. So let me return it back to Flex. So that's why we have this button here, all service. So I to take you to the services page where you can see all of the services. Exactly. So once we make sure you always publish. So now we are done with this section. So now let's go to the next one. Is this? So let me go to the other way. Okay. So this is the about us. About us, ProShed Construction is here to help you. So let me copy this. So let's go and do that here. So about us, then. So once you click on it, it's under the secondary heading. So let me change our company is here to ProShed Construction is here. Then for the highlighted text, I think this is it to help you. So ProShed Construction is here to help you. Now there should be a space. Let me add a space after this here so that we can see it. Okay. ProShed is here to help you. So for the description also, I can go ahead and copy this description that I'm having here. So it should be under description. So all right. So you can see, like I said, it's more of copy and paste is what we are doing. This read more button will remain. Now it's not leading to anywhere, but it's supposed to take us to the about us page. So for you to do that, come to dynamic, click on this dynamic tags. Now you can go ahead and add the link to the about us page directly. You can go ahead and add it. So you just come to about us, you copy, click here, copy link address. Once you copy it, then here you can come here and come and paste the link. Oh, I didn't copy it earlier, but that's how, or you click on this dynamic tag and then look for, okay, page URL, select, then about. So if you click on it now, it can take you to the about us page. Okay, so now next thing I want to change is this picture we are having here, this image. You can see it's not a free image, so we can't really use it. So you click on this pencil icon, which is the edit. So you can see, you can just delete it and then bring in yours. So I think what did I use there? So this tall building. Okay, this is it here. Okay, so then you click on select. So once that is done, don't forget to always publish. So you can see we are done with the another section. Now you can scroll down again. So if you are finding value in this, please give the video a thumbs up. So the next one we want to do is this particular section that is showing the website or the company's portfolio or previous jobs. Exactly. So recent work, our recent building and construction project. Let me copy this. So recent works. So it's under secondary heading. So our recent building project and construction projects. Okay. And construction projects. Okay. So let me copy this too. And that will be under description. All right. So once we edit, let me publish this. Once we edit the portfolio page itself, because the portfolio page, if you click here now, we can't really change this here. There's a separate page for the portfolio. There's a separate setting. If you come to the back end of the website, you can see portfolio. So this is where we are going to be changing the information about the portfolio. So once we do that, it will automatically reflect here. So we can leave this like this for now. So now let's continue. And then you can see there's a button here also that is taking that will take us to the project page. Exactly. So that's why we only have two here. If you remember in the demo website I showed you earlier, under the project page, we have like four. So now this is two. Let's just leave it here. So the next section is this part now. So let's see on the website we are recreating. So this is this part here. So like I said, you can have this to show the logos of some of the companies that you work with or the one that you partner with or some accreditations that you have from the government agency or regulatory bodies. So you can have some of those, their logos here. Exactly. So this is it here. So if you want to change any of them, you can just click on it. Then you can see the option to choose the image, you upload the image, and then you'll be fine. So there are also some settings that are there. You can see if you hover over each image, what do you want to happen? So if you want, so if you turn this on now, maybe if you hover over the image now, you want it to show this. I can see this is just a mono scale. I hope I'm correct, like one color. So maybe you want it to show the this is grayscale, right? Yes. So this is grayscale. All these logos are grayscale. Maybe you want a situation whereby when you over this image to show the colored version. So then the colored version you upload it here. Exactly. So there are a lot of options that you can do with this. And if you want each of these images to take you to a particular link or to link to a particular page, so you can just add the image link here. So that once anyone clicks on it, it can take them to a particular link or a page or a website. Okay. So that's for you to do this individually for all of these. Okay, so that's it for this section. We don't have much thing to do here. So let's move to the next section, which is the testimonial section right here. You can see. So this is the testimonial section. So let's quickly implement this. So testimonial, what our customers are saying. So let me copy this. So if I should head over here, what our customers say. I hope the English is correct anyway. So let me just change what our customers are saying. Okay, so the same thing, copy and paste. You come over. Okay, I didn't. Then the about us. So for this now, I didn't add this description, so I can come here and just remove it. So it's not compulsory you have all the features that is in the demo. Exactly. So there are certain things that will be in the demo that you don't want, and you are going to see some of them as we proceed. So you can just go ahead and delete it. Or there might even be some sections that you don't want in the demo and you don't want it in your own website. It's not compulsory for you to add it. So you need to take note of that. All right. So for this now, if I'm to change this testimonial here, so let me just, and this template now, you can see this template says show image on top of content. You can, if you don't want this style, you can say okay, bordered on content. So let's see what happens. So you can see, and then if you say okay, show info on top of the content. So and then show image on top of content. Let's see. Okay, so that's what is there initially. So these are things that you can play around with. So I don't want this picture. So let me change the image. So let me change it to this. And then if you want to change the testimonial content also, so you can see it, I also have something different. You can just copy it. Okay, so you can just go ahead and if you want to change this, you come over to content. I've copied it already, and then you paste. Okay, and then this is the customer's name. This is where you can change the customer's name. Customers. So if you are done with this, then we can then go ahead and go to the next section. So the next section is the blog section, which is this. I pretty much didn't change anything here because it is okay like this. But if you feel you want to turn things around, you can just do so. So if you just click on this icon here to edit it, to edit the blog element, so you can see use WP query, it is off. Number of posts to show, it is 2. That's why we are having 2 here. If you want to change it to 3, let's see how it will look like. Okay, so this is what it will look like. And if you want to change it around, order by date, ascending or descending, exclude post without media, all of these options, the layout, if you want to play around with the layout, display item as a grid, which is what is showing now. If you want to show it as grid table style, let's see what that looks like. Okay, so you can see it's pretty much the way you love it. Just set it how you want. But let me return it to 2. Uh, okay, so with that now, we've been able to modify the front page, that's the home page, according to the services that we want. So the next is this. Now this is part of the footer, so we can't really change it from here. We are going to be doing that much later. So now this is with that we've been able to complete the home page, and this really is the longest part of this video, which is the home page. Every other page won't take this much, and you get to understand why as we proceed. So with that now, let's head over to the. But before we head over, let's look at what our website is looking at like now. That's the front page. So if you look at it now, although we've not changed the logo, we are still going to get there. So, but so far, if you look at what we are having here, this is what our website is currently looking like with all of the effects and the animation. So this also, we are going to do that separately. Once we do that from here, that's from the portfolio page itself, then it will automatically correct itself here. Okay. Okay. All right. So with that now, let's go to the next page that you're going to be modifying, which is the About Us page. So let's take a look at it. So this is the About Us page from the reference website. So this is what it's looking like. So let's quickly do that. So let's go back to here and let's look at the About page. So let's come over to Pages. So you can see the About page here, and then you click on Edit with Elementor. So let me open that in a new tab. Let it load up. All right. So we want to take it from what we are having here, from this to this. Okay, so you can see, let's go ahead and change this image we are having here. To do that, so just click on this icon here, not this is for the container itself, but this is for the element. So you click on it, you can see it. Let's just delete it, and then so good, this is it. This is the image there. We select it, and then what else do we have? Why choose a specialist in building and construction? Okay, so let me copy this. Specialist in, so this is under secondary heading, in building and construction. Okay, so that is done already. Now let's see, then you can correct this text. Let me see if it is there. All right, so this text, you can just, the same process, copy this, you paste it. Now for this, and all the icon, we're having like for consultation and planning, design and engineering, construction and execution, completion and handover. So if you have to do this, it's just a simple process to just click on each of these, and then you modify it to what you want. So you come over, once you click here, you come over to content. Here, so this is where you change this first working process. So this is it here. And then for the description, this is it here. Exactly. Then if you want to change the logo, you come over to the header. So this is it. Icon, I mean the icon rather. So this is where you're going to pick the icon that you want to use for it. So once you do it here, you do the same thing here, you do it here. This is 3 here, but in the website here, we are having 4. So to add one more to it, you can just pick any of this. You can just duplicate one of them. So once you duplicate it, you can see we already have it to be up to 4. Then you can modify the content also. So it does the same process. You click here, come over to icon. Icon is already the icon that best fits whatever it is that you want to talk about there. So once you are done modifying the contents and you're okay with it, then you publish. All right, so now that this is done, let's go back to the reference website and say, okay, so there's something that you'll notice is that you can decide to also align the section. So let me show you that. So if you take a look at it, you see that this image, they are up aligned to the top, both aligned to the top. If you don't want it like that, if you want the image to be at the middle of this, so you can just come here and then you go to layout, you click on the container itself. So this is it. You can select if you want it to be at the center. You can see it to be at the center. Since this on the left is longer than the image itself, so it's something that you can just play around with. So now let's go to the next one. This is it. Building excellence. Building excellence one structure at a time. So let me copy this. And then we have this short text here and a button. Okay, so now let's go back. So this is it here. This is that section here. So once I just click here, let me paste the text I copied. And then the next one, this you come over to secondary. Oh, okay, it's in the description rather. So you can change the text and then the button is still remaining there. This is it. So I didn't change the button. This is the button. And that is pretty much it for this. Now let's look at this. This is the section here. Who we are an exceptionally unique experience tailored for you. If you have to do that here, you can just copy and paste your text that you want to use. You put it here. So here I have start projects. What do I have? Okay, I removed it here. I removed the button here. So you can also, if you don't want the button to the same thing, just right click and then delete. The button is out. And but so you can see you want to change this picture too. And the text, you click on the text, you put your preferred text. Then for the image, so let me change the image. So by now you should have understanding of some of the things that you need to do. Okay, so I want to have the same thing here. I can go ahead and duplicate this, then delete this. Okay, so I want to just turn it. I want this to be at the top. So you can see, I can use this arrow to reverse it. So if I want it like this, just like I have here, so you can see it. Oh, oh, the button is actually there. The button is actually, and I've deleted it. Okay, so once you delete something, you can easily undo that. So to undo that, that's this button that I removed earlier. So just come over to this Elementor logo here. Once you click on, you see history. Let's trace it. Okay, you can see this button. This is the button. So once I click on it, okay, so you can see it. The button is back. So now we can go ahead and continue with what we are doing. So let me bring back this image. Select, like I deleted this, then duplicate this, then change the direction to reverse. Then I can then change this image. So let me just put this. Okay, so let's go to the reference website. So basically, that is it with the about us. So like I said, the about section, the other pages won't take us much time like we did during the home page. So now let's move to the services page also. So I just want to make sure that I touch all the pages briefly. Okay, so we are back to our page. This is services. We click on edit with Elementor. Okay, so our service, we are here to make your website. So this also, you can, to change it, you should understand the process by now. You click on it, either the heading, the secondary heading, or the description, wherever it is, do make sure you just do the right thing there. So let's see what this services page is looking like here. So this is it here. Our service, we are here for you. And these are the list of residential, commercial, industrial, and general contracting. So if you want to bring this into this now, so just click on it. Then you can change the icon. You come here, you look for the icon that best fits the services you want to talk about. Then click on the content so that you can change the title and the description. So you do this for all of these services here, right here. Okay. And if for any reason, maybe the services that you are offering, so where are you? So maybe this is okay, this is even 8. So you can see we are having 8 of them here already. So that's what I was mentioning, that in the home page there was only 3 here, and there's a link to audio services. So where you are going to see each of audio services that is being offered. Okay, so once you do that, then our approach, so what we are having here is also the same thing. Our approach, our company is here to help you. Then a text display, additional descriptional text, and an image. Okay, so you can do the same thing here. Click on each of them, modify it. For the image, also the same process. Click on it, you put in the image that you think that best fits. Okay. And this section, this section was in the home page. So if you also want it to be in your services page, good. So once you are done, you publish. And with that, we have completed the services page. So let's see what other pages do we have left. That's the project, the blog, and the contact. So now let's hold on. The blog, there's nothing to do on the blog page. The blog page, there's nothing to do there. There's just leave it the way it is. Then now let's move to the contact page. That should be the last page. Then we go to the project, and then we start to do some of the final touch. All right. So now let's go to the blog. Like I said, the blog was not made with Elementor, so you can see it here. So there's nothing to do there. So next is the contact page, which is very simple also. So let's open this in a new tab. We are done with the services, so let's close this. We are done with the about us page. Let's close this. So let's still leave the home page. All right. So this is it from the demo. So the only thing you need to do is just to change the information. Exactly. If you look at it here, this is the reference website, and this is the contact page. The address, the phone number, and all of this. Now, this, like I said, it has already been created. The email that you use, while your admin email is the email that will receive all the messages that is being sent using this contact form and the social media link. So let's quickly look at that. So now we're on the website that we are currently working on. So if you want to change the address, just click here. You can see you can change the icon. The contents is where the address will be. And then the button, so there's no button here because we don't actually need it. But if for any reason you need a button, you can just put it in. So you do that for the address, the phone number, the working hours, and the email. And if maybe for any reason you don't need, maybe you need only 3, maybe you don't need a working email, you can just delete this container. So you can see delete, and it will adjust itself automatically into 3. So don't forget to always publish your work on any page. So this is also this section. If you don't want it, you can just delete it. And if you want it, you can modify it accordingly. And then for the social media link, once you click on this, you'll be able to adjust them accordingly. So for this item 1 is for Facebook, then you add a link to your Facebook page here. This is where you're going to put a link. Then for the same thing for the Twitter, the icon, you want to click here, you'll be able to add the icon to whatever social media platform that you. It's always, the social icons are always somewhere down. You can see it here, or you can just search for it if it is TikTok. Okay, so you can see all the icons are there. So once you select the icons that you want, then you put in the link there, and there are other options. If you want to customize the icon, if you turn it on, you're going to see different options there. So everything here is customizable. It's not, like I said, you can turn things around. It's not compulsory to use exactly what they used. Okay, so once you are good, then you save. Now the next thing I want to add is the Google map. API key is missing. So instead of using this Google Map that is using API key, I'll rather choose, let me delete. So this, let me delete it. So let me use a different map without API key. Okay. So which is this Google Map. So just drag it in. So, so this is where you're going to enter your address. So it's loading up. So let me put in, so let me show you something. Now, if I should put um, Lagos, Nigeria. So you can see it's not being specific. And before I even, it's not being specific exactly. So make sure your address is detailed enough. So if I should add something like, let's say, I hope it's not someone's address. And let's say I put number 11 Allen Avenue. And please, that's not my address, and I don't know. I'm just putting a random address. Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. Okay. Okay. So you can see this indicator or pointer right here. So if you want to zoom in, so you can be seeing the map properly, you can also do that. So this is how to add that map to the website. Okay. So you can see it to show you like this, the Oregon showing you the how you can get there. Then if you want to increase the height, so this is it. This is the option to increase the height. Exactly. So as you are working on the website, since it's an imported website, you can see this. You have the desktop, the tablet, and the phone view. So you can always check it to see that it is also showing very well on your mobile view. For all the sections of the website. So even if you go to the home, if I should click on the mobile view, so you can always. But since it's an imported website, we imported a demo website that was imported, so it won't have too much problem with responsiveness. Exactly. So you can see even on mobile view, it's still looking very good and very professional. Are we good? All right, so let's take it back to desktop. All right, so once you are done with all of this, then you publish. So with this now, we've gone through all of the pages that except the project page. Exactly. So now let's go to the project to do that of the project. So for that, you go to portfolio. Now this is portfolio. Okay, so let's click on that. So you can see it here. All of those projects that we saw on the front page. So here they are. So you can decide to delete them and start yours, or you can just modify them. So then once I click on edit, let me open that on a new page. So let me just close this out. So the best way to know what you are doing with modifying this is just check it out on the home where it is appearing. You can see we are having e-commerce revolution, branding, marketing, e-commerce revolution. So you can see. So if I should change this to commercial building, so you can see. Then this is where you're going to change the image. So if you look at it, this is the image there. This watermelon with blue background. So if I want to change it, I can replace it here. And you can see. So let me see. Let me just pick this. Set it as my featured image. Okay. You can see this text here. We understand that design is more. So if you want to, this text here, this is it. Okay, no. So this text here, so you need to change it. Exactly. So, and then the overview outline, this also, you change it to the right words. Let me also put commercial building. And all of these, you might not really need to, but if you want to just play around with it, you can just select any of these options and go and look at what it looks like at the front end. So then take note of the link in case the link did not change, so you can easily change it. So let me change the link from e-commerce to commercial building. So it won't have problem. So once that is done, so we've changed it. So then don't forget to save. So let's view this particular portfolio. So this is it. Are we good? So what we've just done to this particular portfolio Now let me refresh this here. So you can see what you've just done to this, you can repeat it to as many past project or portfolio that you want to adjust. Okay, so another thing we need to change is the category. Make sure the category align with your business or the purpose of the website. For example, now you can see branding, marketing, and like so. To change that, come over to category. So you can see you can delete this and create yours, or you can just edit it. So let's once you are on the category to change it, you can click on quick edit, then building. Then for the slug, let me also change it to building. So update portfolio category. Right, so that has been updated. So that's how you can do the same thing for the marketing. So now that we've updated the category and the portfolio, so let's take a look at what the website currently looks like. So if I click here and view sites, so this is it. So this is the site you are currently working on. You can see that it's now looking like the reference website now. Everything is looking just like it. Now you can see for the portfolio, you can see it has changed building. This is when we change the commercial building. So if you go ahead to change the other ones to this would also change accordingly. So this is the sections, testimonial. So this is the one that we changed. If you change these two, you're going to be having the desired results that you want and then the blog page. So now that we've done that with across all the pages, including the blog, now let's come over to the header and the footer. So let's look at the header. Now, the header is where we are going to be changing our logo and all of this menu and this contact us, this social icon. So for us to do that, let's come back here. So I can go ahead and close this. So for you to do the for the header section, come over to this appearance, then you see this customize. So let's click on it. So once you click on the customize, so once you click on customize and you notice that the page is taking time to load up. Now, just check this here URL here and check if it is still in the preview domain mode. So with all the time we've used from when we added the domain to our hosting account and now it should have propagated, but it is here to reflect here. So you can just open a new tab and just type in the name of the domain directly. That's based on the domain we are using now, gazettegpt.com, then /WP /admin. So this is what you're going to type in. And remember that this is what you're going to use to always log in into your dashboard, your WordPress dashboard. So just type this in and wait for it to load up. So once you type it, you can see once it loads, it takes you to the dashboard, to your WordPress dashboard. Now with your domain itself, that means it has propagated. That means there's already a link between your domain and your hosting because we got it from separate platform. Exactly. So now that that is done, you can now come over to appearance again, and then you click on customize. So with this now, it will show you a list of options on the left. So these are the options that it will show based on the theme. Now, depending on the theme that you are using, just in case you are creating another website in future with a different theme apart from these flux, these options are going to be different. Exactly. So it's going to be showing you all of these options under the customize, and you're going to be seeing a preview of what the website looks like. So that whatever changes you are making on the website, you're going to be seeing it live. Okay. So like I said, you put in the name of your website first, like WP admin. Alternatively, you can just go to your hosting account. So once you're on your hosting account, you come over to websites, click on website, you see website list, then you check out the domain here, you see WordPress admin with this. So once you click on it, it will also take you to your WordPress dashboard. So whichever way that pleases you, those are two ways to go about it. So you can see to redirect you to your WordPress admin area. All right. So with that being said, now let's continue so you can see it will still take you here. So with that being said, now let's continue with the customize part. So now let's take it one after the other. Remember, we want to do the header and the footer, but there are other things that we can do with this customize, just like the name. So let's look at the general. So under general, you can work on the general layout. So you can see this is the layout that we are currently working with. So if you change it to this now, you see that it will change here. But this is not what we are using. This is it. So you can actually play around with some of this, but you need to be very careful so that you don't just do some changes that you will not remember where exactly you implemented those changes. Okay. So here you can do your general typography. So if you want to change your typography, that's the font type. So you can do it. Then maybe that's for your for the body, for the header, H3 tags, H4 and H5 like that. So you can do that here. So that everywhere you use that same um, body or heading, it will appear as the same font type. Okay. Then page animation and preloading. If you want these options, if you want to enable page animation and page preloading, you can just check this button. And don't forget here also always publish whatever changes that you make so that you can see them at the front end of the website. So that's it on general. There are a lot of options here for you to check out. So let's look at the appearance. So here you can do the global color. Now remember that I said it earlier that this website, it's more of a purple theme website. So if you want to change it around, so you can see the primary color and secondary color. So if I should change this to, let me copy it first. So let me say I change it to red and I click on choose, so you can see it. So this is the red here as the primary. The secondary is still showing like a lavender, lilac, or a light purple color. So you can see it will change across the entire website. So I mentioned it earlier that if you want to change your website color, so this is where you can do it instead of doing it individually. Instead of doing it individually, you can just do it here and it will be effective across all the places where that color is being used. So let me return it back to the initial color. So you can do it, you can see it here. Exactly. And you can also add more color. You can see, remember that we added this white when we are doing a particular place on the website. If you remember vividly, this is the white, it has appeared here. Okay. So now let's go back. And then the website background, you can also change the website background if you want to have a background for your website. And then web content background, frame, skin color. So these are a lot of options that just make sure that if you're not familiar with them, once you implement it, wait and see how it's the changes that will show up on the website so that you don't just do some changes and maybe if at the end of the day you notice that there's a changes and you cannot remember where exactly you implemented those changes. All right, so now let's look at the header. So from this header, we have two options, header template and the header template settings. So the header template, now you can see that's one thing about this Flux theme. It has a lot of templates. Apart from the entire website being an imported demo website, we can also change the header. Maybe, for example, you don't like this header, there are different ones here. You can see this is one header, creative. This is another one here. You can see that it has loaded up like this is the logo. Now the logo is at the top, the menu is just below the logo, and the background covered the entire place. So if you don't want that, you can just pick. There are different options to pick from. So let's import this one too. And here we have another one. This is having this special button at the right. This is the logo. And you can see this is the phone number and the social icon is now at the top menu or the top bar. Okay, so whichever one you want to use, you can just select it here. So let me return back to the initial one. So this is the one that is here. I want to stick with this. Okay. So now how do we go ahead to change some of the logos and this contact information here? So just click on, let's first of all publish it. Then click on edit with header builder. So that will open in a new tab. So to do this, now let's change this logo. If you want to change the logo, so just click on edit logo. Okay, so there's the primary logo. There are two options without primary or secondary logo. We are still going to get there. Then you select your logo type. If you want it to be full, the alignment, if you want it to be at the center, you want it to be at the right or left. And then where do you want it to link to? For example, if you come on most websites, once you click on the logo, it takes you to the home page. There's the settings for that. So this is it here. Where do you want it to link you to the home page? Okay. And then next to it is the menu. So this is the menu, header menu. This is there. That means there are header menu and there's footer menu. We are still going to get there. So you select the menu type, which is the header menu. How do you want the menu to appear, horizontal or vertical or as burger? You can see that's it, like a drop down. So this is not what we want, and we don't want vertical either because you can see it. So we want it to be horizontal. So here it says displays sub-menu indicator. So that means if there's a sub-menu, but we don't have sub-menu for this now. So you say display menu splitter. So let's turn this off. You see what will happen here. Okay, you can see the menu splitter is those dots now is creating, differentiating each of those menu, the home from the about. So if you don't want it to, you can just turn it off. But let me just turn it off. So you can also style it. You can style it so that you can change the color. So the color is black, and then I want it such that if I should hover over it, it will show red. So I'll come over here, I'll click on over, and then the color. Okay, it's actually changing to purple, but purple is not too visible. Let me just change it to another color. So let me make it gold, just for example. Then you can change the font size. There are a lot of options here. So you can see so once I hover it, it becomes gold. So that's where to do that. Then menu item selected. What this means is that if you're on a particular page, maybe on the home page or the about us page, you want it to have a different color so that you can know that, okay, this is the page I'm currently on. So this is where you can do that. So maybe I want it to show as the same color as this gradient 2, which is this gold. So if I'm on about us page, this color will remain as gold. So that's what is. There's also for the sub menu. We don't have sub menu here, but you can adjust it. The burger button and full screen menu. So this is it for the menu part. And then on this side also, to edit this, just click here. Now, then if you don't, if for any reason you don't want this, you can also delete it. You can just come here to this container and then you delete it. If you want to add any other thing here, so you can add it. But this, remember, you need to also take that this is header, so you don't need to add too many things there. Exactly. Okay, so let's just work with this. This is for this now. I can just click here, and I'll be shown with all of these options. So these are the informations you have in the call. If I want to change the phone number, I can easily change it here, colors. And if I want something else, if I want to put something else there, I can easily do that. Okay, so let me just put a random phone number there. So we're having 4 social icon. Maybe I want just 2. Let me delete Pinterest, and so the second one is this for Pinterest and this is for YouTube. Okay, and maybe I want to let me increase. Okay, all right. You can see I've adjusted the size so it can accommodate it easily. So for the Facebook now, this is the item 1, and this is it. The logo is selected already. The link, so this is where I'm going to put the link to my Facebook page, and if it is X, which is Twitter, I can easily put it here. Okay, so the icon. Okay, so let me change it to the new icon. Okay, so you can see. So once you are done, don't forget to publish. And with that, we've been able to adjust the header. So don't worry about this logo. When we correct the logo where logo is to be corrected, it will update itself here. Okay, so now we are done with the header. So I can close this now. I'm back to the customize. So let me go back. So we are done with the header, then the blog. So before we go to the blog, let me refresh it because we've made some changes here. So you can see that if I'm over and over, this thing is not showing the gold color. So let me refresh so that we can be seeing those changes. Okay, so now we've refreshed and you can see this gold, but one thing, this has dropped down. So I think this space is not enough. So let me go back to the header and take out this separator. So, and then return this. Let me just make some adjustments here real quick. So header template. Maybe because of the screen, let me load it in. Let me see what the website is looking at on. Let me just view the website and see. Okay, I think it's okay. It's because of the screen size. That's why this had to come down. So let's just leave it like that. So now let's continue. Since we are done with the header, the blog section, this is where you can just customize how you want your blog to look like. So your single page, how do you want it to appear like this? Do you want it to have a sidebar or a left sidebar or left sidebar? So this is what this place is meant for. Single post title, display title section. If you want to display title section, all of these options are just something that you can just make sure when you are dealing with the blog section, you are or on the blog page itself, you're open to the blog page so that you can be seeing some of those changes live. Okay, so for the pages, so page layouts, so you select how you want your page to look like. That's the entire page. Display content top margin, so that option is on. So there's nothing much to do here. Page title, so the page title, display title bar section. So I don't want the, okay, you can still leave that on, the title bar section. Okay, if you turn this off, you can just take a look and see what happens. You might not see much changes here because this is an imported website, a complete imported website. But what this actually means is that you might have some page that will still be showing the page title at the top. Even, for example, it will be at the top of this entire page. So this is where you're going to disable that feature. Okay, so let's go back. Then the page typography. So just like we have for colors, you can also do that for your typography. That's your font type, so that you can have the same font across all of the websites. Okay, so once we don't really have much to do here, then the footer. So the footer is similar to what we have at the header section. So let me scroll down to the footer. So the footer is, this is what they refer to as the footer. For this one, it starts from here, from where we are having, are you ready for? So here also there are different options, just like we have for the header. So whichever one you like, you can just select it, publish, and then you can edit it accordingly. So for this now, this is not ideal. I want to stick with this. So let me just publish all the changes made so far. If I should click edit with the footer builder. Right, so now that this has loaded up, we can go ahead and edit this. Now let's look at the reference website that we're making reference to earlier. So let's look at any of the footer. So you can see what we have here. I said, what are you waiting for? Let's get started with your project. Start now. This is where you are going to change all of these things. Once you click on it, just like we've been doing with other pages, you're going to change the title, the heading, the secondary heading to whatever it is you want to change it to. Then you save. Now you can come over here. Let me bring this down. So here we are having four containers, this, and this. So for this is the logo. Okay, this is just an image. They didn't use a logo for this. So once you click it, you come here and then you select your logo. I've imported the logo earlier. So I'm going to show you how to create a logo. Now let me show you something here real quick. So for this logo now, let's say I bring this in. You can see that it is big. So you can easily edit it. As if you want to do it within WordPress, there's an option here that says edit image. So once you click on the edit image, then you can crop. You click on crop, then you crop the image, which is our logo for that section because it's looking too big there. Then click on apply crop, save edit. So we have a smaller version of it now. Okay, so it's still looking big, but what we want to do now is, let's go back to edit. So we are going to scale. Yeah, so this is what you're going to do now. We're going to scale it. So let's say we want to reduce it to 150. Okay. So, okay. So that's how you just go about it. Then the settings options, if you want to at the center, if you want to put it at the left alignment. So then if you want to add some short text about it, I think I have something here. You can see building, where you have building excellence and building excellence one structure at a time. So you can just continue again with the copy and paste. Then you do that. So this section is done. Then this useful link is showing all the menu that we have here. And these are the menus that we need. It is picked from the footer menu, which is okay. Now this time is vertical, unlike the header, which was horizontal. Okay. Then the contact information, this is just click here and then you'll be able to change all the informations. This is used for the address. The secondary header is where they put in the email, and then the description is where they have the phone number. And this is to get leads for from your website. So you can change this too if you want to put something here, maybe sign up for newsletter or something. Do make sure you just change appropriately. And once another thing you can need to do is this, yeah, this footer where we have copyright 2025, all right reserved, powered by Flux theme. So do make sure you change this also. Now it says show theme attribution, show privacy policy. These things are optional if you want to show, but this show theme attribution, I don't want it. This powered by Flux theme, I don't want it, so I turn it off. So all rights reserved. So then this, I usually put this at my footer. So if you are creating a website for a business, also you need to put this at your footer. It can help you get leads. For example, this now all right reserved website designed by PA Digitech, such that once they click on it, it takes them to my website. So for you to do that, just come here and let me just copy this. So websites designed by, okay. Let me just copy it to that point. So for you to get this red love sign, love emoji, so you can just search for it. Just type love emoji. So that's how I do get it. And you can just copy this, and then so once you copy that and then you paste it, so you can see it's no big deal. So if you don't want to use shortcode, so then websites designed by. So how do you create that hyperlink? So if you don't know the short code offhand, just come here and type hyperlink generator. So you can click on this web code tools. There are other options too, and you can also create it such that you add some colors and the likes. So today is actually my birthday. That's why you're seeing these balloons everywhere. Okay, so this is where I want to put in. Maybe I want to put PA Digitech there, and the way that I wanted to take them to. So then maybe you wanted to take them to your website or to your WhatsApp or to your email. So you put in that here. So let me just put this one of my websites here. But let me just put the padigitech.com. Okay, so you can see it here. So you just copy this and come back here and paste. So you can see it. It will create what you have here. Then just publish. So that's it on the footer. You can just play around with all of this. And if you want to change the background color, you can see it's having like an ash, a light ash color. So if you click here, style, then the background, that is where you can change the background color and every other thing. Okay, so now that is done. Now I can close this now and go back to customize. Let me close this. Don't want too many tabs open. All right, so now we are done with the footer. We can go back now. So let's look at the footer template settings. The other settings there. Okay, so enable sticky footer. So there's also an option, just like we have sticky menu, we also have sticky footer. So if I turn it on, this is what it means. Okay, you might not really see the effects right now, but so instead of it scrolling, you can see it will be fixed. So you can see the website will to just appear. Once you get to the footer section, you can see the footer will just appear. It won't move. But we don't want it because you can see the other part at the top is not visible using this because the footer is long. So I don't want it, so I can just turn it off. Show theme attribution, we've turned that off. Show privacy policy, I've turned that up for you. If you want that options also, you can also turn it on. It is self-customizable. Okay, so the next thing we have is extra. So back to the top button, if you click here, if you want it on, this is it here, this button here. Once you click it, that takes you to the top of the page. So that's it. So if you don't want it, you turn it off. And if you want it, you turn it on and then you select where you want. Is it at the center? Is it at the left or at the right? Okay. So what else? We have performance, enable image preloader. This is turned off. Breadcrumb login page. So if you click here, the login page, how do you want your login page to appear? So these are just basic things, but it's a matter of preference. Your full page, your maintenance page, your search results. So all of these options, you can just play around it. It's self-explanatory when you see them. Okay, so now let's go to the portfolio. So now this is to customize how you want your portfolio to appear, your single portfolio. How do you want it to show? Remember, this is how ours is showing its um, image here and some text on the right. So if you want its image on the right, text on the left, or you want it something like this, this is where you can just choose whatever it is you want. So there are a lot of options that you can choose from. Okay, so these are just for the portfolio title, enable title section, title bar section. So all of these are just things that you can just choose on your own. Now let's go to site identity. Okay, so this is where we are going to be adding our logo. Exactly. So let me click here. If I should click here now, I'll be able to add our logo. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so you can see the logo is up already, but the logo looks too big, so you can also reduce it. So you just go back to scale and then you rescale it. Then this logo too. So what this logo too is let me add something here now. Let me say for logo two, let me look for, let me just use their own logo just to save up time. So I just want to show you what that logo two does. So now if I should scroll down, okay, we've not allowed sticky menu. When we get there, you're going to see once we scroll away from this logo 2 is what will appear. Exactly, but although it's optional, but if you don't have a logo 2, this logo 1 will still appear. So the site title, so remember that's if you check here now, let me open the website on a new tab so that you can understand, because I really want you to understand some of these things and how the effect they have on the overview of the website. Now, if you look at the website, now this is the front end of the website. Okay, we've changed the logo, but we've not published it. We've not published it. That's why it's not. That's why you're still having this old. Now, if you just check at the tab here, you can see we are having this. The name of the domain, that's gazettegpt.com. You can see. So how do we change that? That's where we come to site title. So let's change it to ProShed construction. So make sure it talks about what you do in a very short form. Then for the tagline, it mostly appear on the home page. Then you can just put it top building and construction company in Lagos. So let me just put it like that. Okay, so the logo width, you can adjust the logo width. So here you can also use this to adjust how big the logo is, logo max height. Then for the site icon, so let's come back here. Now, if you look at this now, you can look at this hosting here now. There's H here. That's the meaning of site icon. Exactly. So if you look at this email, you can see that this Gmail is having this M with an envelope. So that's the meaning of site icon. So to put that now, this is where you're going to include the site icon. So I'm going to upload one of the logos there. Let me still use this. Okay, so you can see it here. It's giving you a preview of what it will look like. So with all of this done, let's go ahead to publish. So we are done with site identity. So for menu, there's nothing much to do yet. The footer menu has been selected. The header menu is already selected, except if you want to rearrange the menu also, you can also rearrange this. But I'll show you where else you can do that. So what else do we need to touch? The widgets, we didn't use much widgets because it's more of a website, not a blog. So we didn't really use much of widgets. And then the home page settings. So this home page settings is where you're going to select two things: your home page and your post page. So since it's a website and not a blog, you want your home page to be a static page, which is one of the pages that we've used for home page, which is this home. And then your post page is it should fall under your blog. That's under the blog part. Exactly. So you select a static and then you publish that. So we didn't do much changes there. So that is it there. Now we are done with the customize section. So we can just close it. We can just close it. Now let's go back to, let me just close it now. So let's go back to the WordPress dashboard. So gradually we are coming to an end of the video because we've covered so much. So now that we're here, there's the menu I want to talk about. So if you come to appearance, you're going to see menu. Let me open this in a new tab. Let me close this and close this. All right. So now you can see I open the menu in a new tab. You can see now we have our site icon is currently working. Okay. So this is where you can create menu. So menu has already been created. We have two menu. We have the footer menu and the header menu. So if you are creating yours and there's a particular menu that you added to your by creating, apart from the ones that you are going to see when you imported the website, maybe you want to add frequently asked question FAQ to the menu. So this is where you're going to do it to do that. Once you create the page, exactly. So once you come to pages, so this is pages. Remember that all the pages that we use we already created. Maybe you want to create a new page, FAQ page. Maybe you want to create the content for FAQ that frequently asked question. Then you click on add new page. Then you go ahead to customize your page using the Elementor page builder, and then you want to add it to the menu. So this is where you're going to do it. And maybe you want to add it to the top, to the header menu. So make sure the header menu is selected. You are currently on the footer menu. So just come here, select header menu, and click on select. So then you'll see the option view all. So once you see the page will appear here, and then you just select it, and then you see add to menu. It will automatically pop up here. So once it appears here, you can then rearrange it how you want. So for example, if you want, maybe if you want this to come second, you can see. So all these things is just drag and drop. You can arrange it the way you feel that is correct. But there are sometimes they are standard. If you check out some of the most websites, they are always arranged in a certain way. Exactly. So you need to pay attention to that. And if you want to create a sub menu, that means a menu under a particular menu, you can just drag it like this. Maybe you can see it comes a sub item. And you can have as many sub menu as possible. So you can see. So let me publish this and show you what a sub menu is. So let me first of all save this. We are going to come back and adjust it back. So that if you should go to the front end of the website, let me reload this. All right. So before we look at the menu, you can see that the site title and the tag that we created earlier, project construction, top building, what do we have there? Top building and construction company in Lagos. We can see. So it's better than the way it was. And then we have our site icon. Okay, so we have our logo here, even though it's too big. So you need to, when creating your logo, it shouldn't be this big. Now, this is what we call sub menu. You can see under the project, let's look at the menu again. So you can see under projects, we have blog. Under blog, we have contact. And that's what is happening here. This is project, we have blog. Under blog, we have contact. So now I've gone ahead to return it back to the way it is and I saved it. So if you come back and refresh, so you're going to be having something like this. So that is it on how to do the menu. Now for the logo, for you to create the logo, you can do that using Canva. So that's where I created the logo real quick. So it's pretty much very easy creating logos too on Canva. So once you head over here, all of the links, I'm going to leave them in the description. So you can just search for, okay, I think the keyword I used was building company logo. So you can see this is the logo. You can see this is the template I use. So you can see it. So there are other options that you can pick from. So they are free and some premium logo with some premium features that or pro features, whatever way they call it. So Canva is a good way. So once whatever logo you want to use, for example, if it's like this one, once I clicked on it, you see customize this template. So that's just how to use this is a separate tutorial on how to use Canva, but it's pretty much very easy. So once it loads up, you can just change the words accordingly. You can change the color. You can change the color, you can see it here. You can change the text as the name of the service or the company. So once you are done, there's an option to save and to export it. All right. So once you click on share, you see the option to download. After you must have changed everything you want to change, maybe the color, and you can also add some other elements to it, some text and everything. So that's where I get my logo. Don't forget, I've told you where to get the logo. I've told you where to get quality images from. So with that, we are as good as having our website ready. So let me just open it in a new tab and then let's go through the pages real quick. So you can see, so this is taking us to the about page. Okay, this is taking us to about page instead of the services page. So I believe by now I should know how to correct this. It's the same thing with other buttons that we did earlier. So, so you can see this is the project, which is portfolio that we corrected. We didn't touch this just to save time. Okay, and this is the testimonial, and here we have our blog, and here we have our footer. You can see we already have our logo, and then this is what I was talking about. So once you click on it, it can take you. So whatever you put there, it will take you there. Okay, and then you can adjust all of this. So for the about us also, you can see we already have our website ready. If you want to change there's a background image underneath this purple. There's this. Let me go back to. Okay, I don't have any of them open. So you can just click on that three icon there to change the background image also. So all of these are customizable, very easy to go about it. Now, once your website is ready, there are certain plugins that I think that should be the last thing I'll be mentioning in this video. There are some important plugins that I personally usually add to most of the websites, if not all of the website that I create. And then number one is the Yoast plugin for SEO. And maybe I'm going to do a separate video for that, for some of those plugins. Yoast SEO. So for SEO purpose, it's going to add some important information to your website as a whole and to some pages so that they can not only rank high on search engine but to also appear professional. Another one is let me head over to plugin, is all-in-one WP migration. Once I create my website, I always like to download a copy of the website and I save it offline just in case anything go wrong. Then Google Site Kit, that Google Site Kit, it allows you to link your website to Google Webmaster easily, to Google Analytics. And if you're going to be using AdSense, it's very easy for you to set up AdSense. And then WordFence also for security. It helps to add a level of security to your WordPress website. So those are some of the four plugins that this is it. The WordFence is, they are all pretty much easy to set up. Then we also have the Yoast that I mentioned earlier. So you're going to set it up across all the pages and the website itself. The Yoast is very, very important. Then the another one is all-in-one. All-in-one, all-in-one WP migration. And then there are some other minor one like this is it. Then there's this other one I love to add, but I won't be adding it here. Chatty, yeah. So those are just some other plugins that you can just put in. It creates a floating chat with widget. Okay. So with that now, I want to round up with this tutorial. I hope you learned a lot in the course of this creating this website. Now this is what we're able to come up with, and this is the where are you? Where is the home page? And this is the initial website. You can see this is the reference website, and you can see, and this right there is what we came up with. Okay, so the focus is for you to get the process, to get the step. So you might not expect it to be. I can see I had to skip something to save time, and this video is pretty much longer than I expected. And congratulations if you watched this far. So all of the links I mentioned to get your domain and hosting, I'll leave them in the description of this video. Do make sure you check them out. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment section below. If you have any, if you find value in the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any video requests relating to digital marketing website, do let me know in the comment section below. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you all in another video. Bye for now.